In order for me to do that, I had to work in all different genres.
One of the greatest things that you can learn about when trying to become successful is the fact that you should never give up, regardless what the case may be. You should always try to keep pursuing your goals, regardless of how hard and how much it hurts to try to keep moving forward. You never want to be that person that gives up and just throws their dreams away because it got too hard for them. You want to be the person that decides to get up after failing and keep pushing further and harder. You want to be so aggressive with pursuing your dreams that people think you're crazy because you know what you want to do in your life and you are determined to get it done.
I knew I wanted to be something, and it was important to me to be something.
You don't want to be one of those people that sits on the sideline and just talks about pursuing their dreams. You want to be somebody who makes an action and steps forward and tries to go after their dreams and figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life and truly have a passion and love every second of it. You don't want to be stuck doing something that you hate day in and day out and just something that bores you to death. You want to be doing whatever it is you love, and the best way to do that is by not giving up on it. You should always be excited about going to do whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, and trying to pursue that with everything you have is going to achieve success. And if you give up, everything you would have tried to do is just thrown out the window, and there's nothing that you can do to get it back because you gave up. You didn't fail, you gave up. So know that it is okay to fail, but giving up is not an option.
The most this and the most that, again, it's wonderful, but the alternative is what I once was. We were 14 years old, we lived in Hawaii, and we lived in a small efficiency apartment. My mom and I came home, and I'll never forget, the rent was $180 a week, and there was an eviction notice on the door. It was the final eviction notice, like that's the one. My mom started crying, and I never forgot in that moment. It was a seminal moment for me because I felt like I never want to be in this position again. What can I do? So at 14 years old, I thought, well, the heroes in my life, Muhammad Ali, for example, professional wrestlers, they're all men who have worked hard with their hands and they built their body. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what my dad taught me and these other heroes. I'm going to go build my body so we're never evicted again. Being evicted, by the way, as you were saying, has not only given me just great perspective, but also great gratitude, but also, and my team and my family, we laugh, feel this way. Like, you know, we're a month away from being evicted. The most this and the most that, again, it's wonderful, but the alternative is what I once was.
That is so close to my heart. I live that life, I know what it's like, and I also know what it's like to transition out of football at a time, much like my character in Ballers, where I wasn't ready to give up football. The idea of me being president one day has become a legit thing to some people. And if it is a overwhelming, positive, strong, we want you to run for president, and if I felt that I can step up to the plate and become a tremendous leader and make a real difference and make change, I would do it. I had Simone, who's my beautiful 14-year-old daughter, who continues to be, you know, a balancing anchor in my life, just an amazing young girl. The relationship I have had with Simone over the past 14 years has led me to become the father I am today for Jasmine, who's our little 7-month-old baby who just rocks my world. I think the number one thing that a lot of people, for whatever reason, become adverse to, carbs are your friend.
We were bad. We intimidated, we dominated, but we took a lot of pride in that. We took a lot of pride in trailblazing and how the game was played back at that time through, we would intimidate teams and we would want to dominate teams. But also, too, we also had the thought process, a team was never going to outwork us. We were going to be the hardest working team in the country. And check this out. What we would do, for example, we had a big game against Florida State. So we would go into their Doak Campbell Stadium. And instead of going through your general practice, what we would do is we would do things a little bit different just to intimidate them. So as a team, we would kind of all line up. We're in their stadium. You got their staff. You got some players watching us. Instead of going through our plays, we would just start to give cadence calls.
Yes, I get up at crazy hours, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way, when we're talking in London, whatever time my call time is. And I tell this to studios and directors and our producers, whatever time my call time. So my call time is at 7. Then you back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up. And I'll train twice. I'll get my cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go hit the weights. Clanging and banging, we call it.
For me, failing has become critical in my growth. I graduated from the University of Miami. I had a terrible senior year. I had a bad injury. You only get one shot as a senior. You don't come back. And I had a really terrible year that year. Graduated, didn't get invited to the combine, the NFL combine. I didn't get drafted in the NFL. And I had one option, and that option was the CFL. So now you work so hard for 10 years, and I signed a contract in the CFL to make $350 a week Canadian. I got sent back home, but I had fallen so flat on my face for the first time in my life. I was depressed, asking myself, why me? How can this happen? I worked so hard. Hard work pays. I always thought it's not paying for me. I got nothing. I literally had $7 in my pocket, so my $7 story. That failure, rising from that to say it's not over for me.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video for us. And go ahead and comment down in the section below and let us know what you thought.